On this late November morning in 2025, the Iberian sun is a memory, its warmth replaced by a biting, unfamiliar cold that settles over the land like a heavy blanket. The golden rays that once danced across olive groves and whitewashed villages now struggle to pierce the thick, icy air. Across the cities, people bundle themselves in layers of winter coats, scarves pulled tight, their breath visible in the crisp morning air. The streets, usually alive with chatter and laughter, are quieter now, as if the cold has pressed pause on daily life. In Seville's orange groves, frost clings to ripening fruit, a beautiful, unsettling sight. The oranges, symbols of southern abundance, now wear a delicate coat of ice, their vibrant color dulled by the chill. Farmers walk the rows in disbelief, their footsteps crunching on frozen grass. The city's usual lively sounds are muffled. People stay indoors, stone floors radiate chill, and the air feels northern, not Mediterranean. Windows fog with condensation as families gather around heaters, sharing stories of winters past that never felt quite like this. In Lisbon, trams navigate icy tracks with caution, their bells echoing through streets lined with terracotta roofs, dusted white. The familiar cityscape is transformed, resembling a scene more fitting for Scandinavia than Portugal, as locals marvel at the rare beauty of frost and snow. The vibrant colors of the south are muted, the rhythm of life abruptly altered. Cafes that once spilled onto sunlit plazas now sit empty, chairs stacked and doors closed against the cold. The pale winter light casts long shadows, softening the edges of the city. This is not just a weather event, it's a redefinition of the region's character. The familiar warmth and ease have given way to a new, bracing reality, challenging the expectations of those who call this place home. The familiar world is suddenly alien, stark, and unexpectedly beautiful. The landscape, once lush and sun-drenched, now glistens under a layer of frost, inviting both awe and reflection. It's a powerful reminder. Even the most predictable climates are part of a volatile, interconnected global system. Weather patterns shift, boundaries blur, and what was once unthinkable becomes reality. The cold forces us to pause, reconsider, and witness nature's capacity for surprise. It invites us to adapt, to find beauty in the unexpected, and to remember that change is always possible. The Earth's climate is dynamic, ever-changing, and full of wonder. In moments like these, we're reminded of our place within it, small, odd, and always learning. La Niña, a Pacific phenomenon, usually brings Spain and Portugal milder, wetter winters. Westerly winds should have shielded the region from Arctic cold, promising gentle rains and above-freezing temperatures. This year, however, the expected pattern has been upended. Fountains freeze in Madrid, and Algarve beaches are deserted from biting winds. The answer lies not in the Pacific, but in the fragile balance of the Arctic, where more powerful forces are at play. The winter of 2025 reveals the climate's complexity. La Niña's mild influence is overwhelmed by a weakened polar vortex and a wildly meandering jet stream. The polar vortex, usually a stable whirl of Arctic air, has become unstable, sending lobes of frigid air southward. This November, a chunk of Arctic cold has flooded Europe, reaching the Iberian Peninsula. The jet stream, which normally keeps cold and warm air separated, has developed a deep trough over Western Europe. This acts as a channel, funneling Arctic air directly to Spain and Portugal. Instead of mild Atlantic breezes, the region is battered by historic cold. La Niña's protective effect is simply overpowered. The result, a winter not just cold, but record-breaking. The weather rulebook has been rewritten. The polar vortex is a vast, high-altitude whirlpool of frigid air, typically locked in place over the Arctic Circle. This swirling mass acts as a kind of invisible barrier, keeping the coldest air trapped far to the north, away from much of Europe and North America. For decades, this system has helped maintain the familiar seasonal rhythms we expect. But as the Arctic warms at nearly 4 times the global average, this once stable barrier is weakening. The ice that once reinforced the vortex is melting at unprecedented rates, and the temperature difference between the Arctic and lower latitudes is shrinking. As a result, the polar vortex becomes unstable. It stretches, wobbles, and sometimes even splits, allowing frigid Arctic air to spill much farther south than usual, just as we're witnessing now across Europe. Sudden stratospheric warming events, where temperatures high above the poles spike dramatically, can further disrupt the vortex, unleashing intense, cold snaps across the continent. We saw this dramatic effect with the infamous Beast from the East in 2018, when snow blanketed cities unaccustomed to such extremes, and again with Storm Filomena in 2021, which brought record-breaking snowfall to central Spain, paralyzing daily life and surprising meteorologists. These events, once considered rare, are now becoming more frequent, signs that they're part of our new climate reality, shaped by a rapidly changing Arctic. The November 2025 cold wave is yet another chapter in this unfolding story. Arctic air displaced by a wandering vortex has gripped Spain and Portugal, transforming familiar landscapes into winter scenes. Paradoxically, a warming Arctic can actually mean colder, harsher winters for the mid-latitudes, as the disrupted vortex sends icy blasts southward. It's a vivid reminder that everything in nature is connected. Changes at the top of the world can ripple thousands of kilometers away, reshaping weather, seasons, and daily life across the globe. High above the Earth's surface, the jet stream acts as a powerful river of wind, shaping our weather in ways we often don't realize. It steers storms, separates warm and cold air masses, and plays a crucial role in determining the climate across entire continents, including Europe. When the jet stream is strong and flows in a straight path, it brings Europe the kind of mild, changeable weather that many are used to. Gentle rains, cloudy days, and the occasional burst of sunshine. This pattern keeps winters relatively moderate and allows for a comfortable, if unpredictable, season. But recently, a weakened polar vortex has caused the jet stream to slow down and become much more wavy, creating what meteorologists call blocking patterns. These patterns can trap weather systems in place for days or even weeks, leading to prolonged periods of unusual weather. Now, a deep trough in the jet stream is anchored over Western Europe, acting like a channel that funnels frigid Arctic air far to the south, reaching areas that rarely see such cold. Meanwhile, to the west, a ridge in the jet stream pulls warm air northward, effectively locking the cold air in place over the Iberian Peninsula. This sharp contrast in air masses creates a weather stalemate, with little relief in sight. The result is weather stuck in a rut, persistent, severe cold that refuses to budge, disrupting daily life and challenging local infrastructure. This increased waviness in the jet stream is driving more extreme weather events than ever before. Scorching heat waves in the summer, deep freezes and blizzards in the winter, and even sudden swings between the two. The gentle breezes and mild temperatures of a typical European winter have been replaced by a stubborn, relentless chill that lingers week after week, making daily routines more difficult for millions. The jet stream's new, unpredictable behavior is now one of the most concerning trends in modern meteorology, raising urgent questions about how our climate is changing and what the future holds for Europe's weather. Storm Filomena in January 2021 paralyzed Madrid with record snow, exposing the vulnerability of a sun-soaked society to extreme cold. The city ground to a halt, airports closed, supply chains broke, and the army was called in. Filomena's lesson. Preparedness is crucial. The current cold wave shares the same atmospheric setup, polar vortex disruption, and a deep jet stream trough. This time, the cold is mostly dry, but any incoming moisture could trigger chaos. Authorities now prioritize snowplows, coordination, and public communication. The memory of Filomena ensures vigilance. Spain's emergency services are watching the skies with new respect. The ordeal taught that modern life can unravel quickly when nature asserts itself. Cities like Seville and Lisbon have activated winter emergency plans, a new reality for regions built for sun, not snow. Salt spreaders are ready, roads and bridges are treated, and public awareness campaigns urge residents to protect homes and check on vulnerable neighbors. Shelters expand capacity for the homeless, and energy companies brace for record demand as poorly insulated homes crank up the heat. In Lisbon, salt is prepositioned on steep hills and tram services run with caution. Teams work overnight to keep power lines clear and transport moving. The focus: keep people safe, infrastructure running, and communities informed. This proactive approach marks a shift toward resilience in the face of a changing climate. Across Spain and Portugal, the cold has revived a spirit of community. Neighbors check on each other, share firewood, and help clear icy streets. Social media groups become hubs for sharing help and information. Families gather, rediscovering simple joys, board games, hot stews, and time together. The shared challenge forges stronger bonds, creating a safety net more agile than any official plan. Kindness, offering a hot drink, distributing blankets, combats isolation and vulnerability. In the end, it's this communal warmth that will be remembered long after the frost melts. Adapting to the cold starts with safety. Dress in layers, use proper heating, and move cautiously on icy streets. If you must travel, prepare your vehicle and pack essentials. The memory of past storms is a reminder. Conditions can turn dangerous fast. Yet, there's wonder in this rare event. Children seeing snow for the first time, families building snowmen, and cities transformed. The cold wave is a test of resilience, but also a chance to slow down and reconnect. It highlights the beauty and unpredictability of nature. By staying safe and supporting each other, Spain and Portugal can face this historic chill with strength and a sense of shared discovery. Sometimes winter's greatest gift is the reminder of what truly matters.